Hello friends. Budget 2020 was an important year for income tax. The new tax regime was introduced in Budget 2020 and it was said that the new tax regime is supposed to simplify things for the common man. But in fact, it complicated the decision making. Why? Even now, the old tax regime is in place, and many a time a common man is confused about which tax regime to choose. Which one would give the individual more savings, which one would help him with more in hand cash. To simplify this decision making, we have explained both the tax regimes with comparisons and examples across different tax slabs, along with a Excel based income tax calculator, which you can download from our description. Now let's get into the video. Welcome back to Make Smart Decisions. Our objective is to explain more complex topics in the most simple manner possible. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please consider subscribing to our channel and press the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the new videos that we post. Now let's get into the video. So this is a comparison of the old tax regime and the new tax regime. So here in the old tax regime, there are just 4 slabs of net income, net taxable income. So up to 2.5 lakhs of net taxable income, there is no tax. Up to 5 lakhs, you have 5%. Between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, you have 20%. And above 10 lakhs, you have 30% income tax. One important thing to note is that this is not the gross salary or the gross total income. This is the net taxable income. If you do not know what do you mean by a net taxable income, we have put a video on net taxable income and how to calculate income tax, which we would put it in the notification and in the description. You can go ahead and watch it. Now coming to the new tax regime, unlike the old tax regime, it has multiple slabs and subsequent slabs increase by 5%. If you look at it till 5 lakhs, there is no change between the old income tax regime and the new income tax regime. But after 5 lakhs, they've broken it. Between 5 to 7.5 lakhs, it's 10%, 7.5 to 10 lakhs, it's 15%. And only above 15 lakhs, your income tax rate is 30%. At the outset, it may seem that the new tax regime is more beneficial because at the same tax slabs, you have a higher tax in the old regime but lower tax in the new regime. But wait, the new tax regime has more conditions. Unlike the old tax regime, the new tax regime does not offer any exemptions or deductions. If you look at the old tax regime, it helps you with exemptions such as leave travel allowance, house rent allowance. Also, you can claim deductions, the standard deduction of 50,000 rupees, the section 80C, where you can save up to 1.5 lakhs in various schemes such as EPF, PPF and ELSS. You can claim deduction for the medical insurance that you are purchasing for yourself and for your family and your parents. It also gives you deduction for the interest on housing loan up to 2 lakhs for self-occupied properties. And there are many more deductions that are available. If you want to see what are the deductions that are available, we have a video on income tax savings which we would post it in the description. You can go ahead and watch it. Now coming to the new tax regime, you don't have any of these exemptions and neither you don't have any of the tax deductions under 80C, 80CCD, 80D. You can't claim any deduction for the medical insurance that you are purchasing, but there are very few reliefs. That is, if you are renting out the property that you bought using a housing loan, you can save interest or you can claim deduction on the interest that you are paying. So most of the deductions and exemptions that are available in the old tax regime has been taken away in the new tax regime. Right now you understand the difference between the old tax regime and new tax regime, right? But it's very difficult for a common man with this data point to understand which is beneficial for him or her, because each individual is different. Their tax bracket is different, their saving habit is different, their investments are different. Now to simplify things, we have created an Excel calculator. Now let me show you that calculator and play some various scenarios. So this is the income tax calculator that we have created. Now let me type the gross total income here. Let's say we type total gross income as 4,50,000. This is the first slab. Now you can see in both the tax regimes there is no income tax. Okay, but we earlier said that up to between 2.5 lakhs to 5 lakhs there was 5% income tax. So there is a rule under 87A where if your net taxable income is less than 5 lakhs, you can claim a rebate. And hence in both the tax regimes, you don't see any income tax. So below 5 lakhs of net taxable income, both the tax regimes are equal irrespective of your savings habit. Now let's go to the second tax bracket. Let's say we have a net taxable income of, say, let's say we have a gross total income of say 7 lakhs, right? So this is the gross total income. Now to find out the net taxable income, you will have to subtract this gross total income with various deductions and exemptions. Let's say in our example, you have a standard deduction of 50,000. 50,000 is commonly available for everyone in the whole tax regime. Let's say you stay in a rented property and you pay house rent, and let's say the house rent deduction or the house rent allowance exemption is around 25,000 rupees. And let's say you save around 50,000 under ATC. Now you can see with a total gross total income of 7 lakhs, your total income tax in the old regime is 27,500 rupees. If I have to include the cess, it is 28,600 rupees, and then in the new tax regime it is 33,800 rupees. So with these savings, your old tax regime is better than new tax regime. Now let's remove the deductions and exemptions. Let us say that you don't have a HRA exemption and you have not saved any money in under section 80C. Now you can obviously see that your income tax in the old tax regime has increased to 44,000, whereas in the new tax regime is 33,800, and hence in this case your new tax regime is better. Your enhanced salary is naturally higher in new tax regime than the old tax regime. Now let's take another example. Let's move to within the same bracket. Let's type a higher salary. So we have typed 9 lakhs as a salary. Without any savings or deductions, we can see that the new tax regime is better, because there is 85,000 tax in the old tax regime, and in the new tax regime it's 62,400 rupees. Now let us say that you save around 1 lakh in section 80C, say under EPF or PPF. Now you can see naturally the income tax going down. Let us say you have taken a medical insurance for yourself and the premium is 20,000. Now you can see your deductions further going up and your net taxable income reducing, and net your total income tax including the cess becomes lesser than the one in the new tax regime, and hence more the savings, your income tax is reducing and the old tax regime is better. Now let's take a different example where your gross total income is more than 10 lakhs. Let's say your gross total income is 12.5 lakhs. Let us say in this case you completely utilize the section 80C and you save 2 lakhs, right? Even if you save 2 lakhs, the total 2 lakhs will not be accounted for, only 1.5 lakhs will be accounted for here. And let us say, and hence I am putting 1,50,000 as the total savings under section 80C. Let us say you also stay in a rented accommodation where your house rent exemption becomes 50,000 rupees. And let's say you also have a insurance for yourself and you also have an insurance for your parents where the premium is around 25,000 rupees. Now you can naturally see in the old tax regime, the income tax is substantially less. It's in fact 22,000 rupees lesser than the new tax regime, and hence more the savings in any tax bracket, your old regime seems better. Now let me remove all these savings and deductions. I'm removing this. As soon as I remove section 80C savings, you can see that the new regime is much better. It is having 1,30,000 as taxes, whereas in the old regime, your tax is 1,49,000. Now let's get back to our examples. So here, I've compared the 3 examples that I've discussed. So one is 7,50,000, the other one is 12 lakhs, and the other one is 18 lakhs. So this belongs to an individual with good savings habit. So an individual with a good savings habit will naturally have more deductions and more savings, and hence in all the cases you can see naturally see that the total income tax in the old tax regime is lesser than the new tax regime, and hence the in hand cash is higher. And hence, if you are an individual with good savings habit, you should ideally choose the old tax regime. Now let us consider an individual with a poor saving habit. You can naturally see that in all the income tax brackets, the income tax in old regime is much higher than the income tax in new tax regime. And hence, if you have too many commitments, you cannot save money under section 80C, you don't have any deductions, it is better to choose new income tax regime. Now, there is one catch here. If you are an individual with a net taxable income which is closer to 5 lakhs, there is a important thing that you need to notice. Let us take this example. So this is the old tax regime and this is the new tax regime. Let us say an individual's net taxable income is 5 lakhs. In both the cases, under section 87A, you will get a rebate and you will not have any income tax. But the moment your net taxable income becomes 5 lakhs and 1 rupees, you will have to pay income tax. But under both the regimes, since it's 5%, you'll have to pay an income tax of 12,500 rupees. But once it increases to 5 lakhs 10,000, what really happens is your income tax increases. Naturally, you can see that for between 5 lakh, 5 lakh 1 and 5 lakh 10,000 rupees, because of the income tax, your net in hand cash is reduced. It's better to have a net taxable income of 5 lakhs rather than a net taxable income of 5 lakhs 10,000 or 5 lakhs 5,000. Where it gets equalized is that in the new tax regime, when your net taxable income is equal to 5 lakh 14,509 rupees, your income tax becomes 14,509 and your in hand cash is equal to 5 lakhs. So between 5 lakhs to 5 lakh 14,509, you will have a substantially lesser amount of in hand cash because of the income tax that you are paying. But if you have chosen the old income tax regime, it is slightly higher. Between 5 lakhs to 5 lakhs 16,414 rupees, your net in hand cash will be lesser, as you can see here. Once you reach 5 lakhs 16,414, your income tax becomes 16,414, that is 12,500 for the up to 5 lakhs and 4,414 for the remaining amount, and then your net in cash in hand becomes 5 lakhs. So if you are someone who has a net taxable income which is very close to 5 lakhs, you have to watch very closely and choose the right regime appropriately. Now, what is the takeaway for us? The takeaway is simple. We'll have to save more, we'll have to improve our saving habits and choose the old regime. Please do not choose the new regime that would actually make you spend more. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing to our channel, and if you find this video useful, please share it with your friends and family. Thank you very much.